Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm really excited because I'm going to do my first ever Q&A. So a couple weeks ago I asked on my YouTube community tab if anyone had any questions, and I'm really glad with all the responses I got, so I'm going to do my best to try and answer them now. So the first question is from Hermione Can't Draw, which is a great name by the way, and she asks, what shows have you been in? So I didn't really get into musicals until a bit later in life, not that I'm very old, I'm only 21, but yeah, I was always into music during school, and I was in the choir and stuff. In primary school, just the way it worked out, I was never in any of the musicals then. I think it just the way the years fell, but when I got into secondary school, I was in Bugsy Malone. I was quite young in that, so I didn't have like a really big part in it. I was I think the newspaper boy and one of Dandy Dan's gang, I think, but that's actually a really fun musical to be in. And then it was like partway through secondary school that I started kind of taking singing more seriously, and I started getting voice lessons in school. I got a singing teacher, and that really helped develop my confidence and also kind of showed me that I could start taking it a bit more seriously and could maybe even be in a few shows. And I was in a few pantomimes in church, but I'd say the first main kind of major show I was in was The Wizard of Oz, and that was in my local opera house. And in The Wizard of Oz I played the Cowardly Lion, which was really fun. It was, as you can see in the pictures, it was like a really warm costume, but the role was amazing. Like I got to as I said, like from not really doing much like musical theatre stuff before and just being launched into that with like such a great role. Like it combined comedy and it combined like kind of that classical singing, which I'm classically trained. I don't hate when people say that because it sounds really pretentious, but basically I did classical grades growing up, and so I have that kind of style of singing, but I also think it kind of lends itself to musical theatre as well, even though I like more modern stuff too.
Gee, that's awful nice of you. My life has been simply unbearable. Even my family's disowned me. When I was just a little cub, my father took me to the top of a high mountain and waved his paw around and said, Hakuna Matata. Life is sad, believe me, missy, when you're born to be a sissy, without the vivid voice. But I couldn't change my habits, never more be scared of rabbits if I only had to know them. If I'm king of the forest, not queen, not duke, not prince, my regal robes of the forest would be stat, not cotton, not chintz. I command each thing, be it fish or fowl, with a woof and a woof and a roar.
The only other musical I've been in is Joseph. I did that a couple of years ago. I played Joseph, so that was in Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat, as I said, and that was just like an incredible role. Like it's never really computed in my brain that like I played the Cowardly Lion and then went on to play Joseph. It was a crazy experience. It wasn't like as big a production as The Wizard of Oz was in the Opera House, but it was still really special, and just like to get to play like that, like it really is. It's an iconic role, and I remember watching Joseph and knowing the songs when I was growing up, and also from like a Christian perspective, just to play that kind of character. And I really like it's a more kind of, I'd say, pop kind of musical theatre style of singing, but it was just I love Joseph in the way that like all the songs are like very distinct and kind of different musical styles, and I also I just love the musical, and I love like the arc Joseph goes on throughout the show, and it was really fun playing that. I guess The Wizard of Oz kind of had a bit of a character arc with the lion getting less afraid, I guess, by the end, but Joseph really had like, I really love playing like the kind of innocent side and then the really like angry side at the end, and then kind of like the redemption arc and everything. It was a really good role to play.
I will camp my looks far. I am a walking work of art. Such a dazzling coat of many colors. How I love my coat of many colors.
Well, I understand a bit about the corn, Pharaoh, but could you give me a second about the cows?
I do not matter. I'm only one person. Destroy me completely, then throw me away.
next question is from Lottie, or Lottie, sorry, I don't know how to say that, Lottie Cook, and she says, she asks, what is your favourite musical? Please can I have a shout out from Lottie? Lottie, there's your shout out. I don't know exactly how to pronounce your name, but there you go. I think this is such a difficult question. I always find this difficult with anything in terms of music, in terms of like TV shows and stuff, movies. What's your favourite? It's so difficult, and I think the fact that musical theatre is so varied in so many different genres, it's actually quite difficult to pick your favourite one. I'd say right off the top of my head, Into the Woods. I just hit my laptop there. Into the Woods is definitely my favourite musical. I think it really got me into musical theatre. It got me into kind of like that way of thinking that musicals should be basically like storytelling. That should be like the basic layer of it, and everything else should come from that. That's what I really learned from that show. I love just the setup of the show. I love the original PBS recording. I think it was PBS anyway. They did like a kind of pro shot like they did with Hamilton. So yeah, I'd say that was probably my favorite one. I guess like my kind of favorite musicals are up there. I don't even know if you can see all of those, but I'd say probably Phantom of the Opera would be another favourite musical of mine. I love the 25th anniversary version with Sierra Boggess and Ramin Karimloo. I think that's how you pronounce the name. But yeah, I'd say that's probably my second favourite if I had to pick. I also really love Cabaret. That's like a musical I've only gotten into very recently. My friend Katie kind of she saw it, she told me about it, and she told me just how like incredible the story was, and I didn't really like take it into account for a while, and then I think stuff just started popping up on YouTube about it, and I started watching stuff, and it's just like I've never seen a whole production before, but Cabaret, honestly guys, if you haven't seen it, I think it's probably one of the most important musicals out there, if not the most. It just has such an important message. It does kind of creep me out at the same time. I think that's definitely the feeling you're supposed to get by the end of it. And I love the movie version as well with Liza Minnelli and Joel Grey. Again, I haven't seen the whole thing, so I don't even know what I'm talking about, but just from what I've seen of it so far, it just looks amazing. But yeah, definitely a very uncomfortable musical, but important at the same time, obviously. The next question comes from Anna, and she asks, what is your biggest dream role, and is there a role you would never want to play? That's actually a really interesting question, because you don't usually get the what would you not want to play? In terms of a dream role, I'd say I'd always say Phantom would be a dream role, but definitely I'm too young for that now. Although Ramin was quite young when he played it, so you never know. But yeah, Phantom would be great. Something in my dream musicals, like Into the Woods. I'd love to play like the Baker. I'd love to play the Prince in that. Jack. I'd love to play that. I have a cover of Dance in the Sky I recently posted, so I would love to play. Really, I'd love to be in Into the Woods if possible in my life. It's hard. I don't know. There's so many. I love like I don't think I think of dream roles as much as like individual songs I just love singing. I guess like Dear Evan Hansen would be great, and I'd love if like I have the chance to originate a role. I think that'd be really cool. I love seeing all those like behind the scenes documentaries of like Wicked and like the making of that. If you've never seen that, I think it's up on YouTube. And yeah, I'd love to be a part of something like that. But yeah, in terms of like a role I wouldn't want to play, I can't really think, because like I do like most musicals I know of, and I can't really think like I would just love to be in a musical. I'm really missing being in like on the stage. Like I just love to be in something, so I guess I'm not really in that mind space to be like, oh no, I wouldn't want to play that. But yeah, I can't really think, to be honest. Okay, so moving on, the next question we have is from Lily Pierce, and Lily asks, do you enjoy listening to people joining in with your duets and seeing their takes on songs? And to that I reply, yes. Like I think it's one of the coolest things. Like I started doing the duets partly because I saw a bit of a niche in it. I know Clark on Stage does a lot of those kind of a lot of those duets. Like his kind of whole channel is dedicated to that. But yeah, I really liked the idea of doing something outside of solo covers, which is what had done before. Like I'm trying to remember, I think maybe my first ever duet was from The Nightmare Before Christmas, and I just remember getting really excited to be able to do that, because it felt like doing something like slightly outside of myself. Like with a cover, yeah, it's great, and I love doing like solo stuff, but to actually help someone and know that you're kind of like, I don't know, just helping someone with their singing. Maybe they don't have like a duet partner, maybe they're not living in a place where that's possible. Just to give someone like that kind of experience is amazing. And just the fact that like it's kind of like my channel hasn't blown up in any way, but it's really like it's gained more traction because of that, and I'm really happy because I think it's like it's kind of a cool community as well that's developed in the comments of those videos, and yeah, it's just, I don't know, it's a good feeling knowing that you're helping people. And yeah, from what I've heard so far of people joining in, I know that some people post like duets with me in them on YouTube, and sometimes people tag me on Instagram, and I really love listening to them. It's really cool. It is, I must admit, it is a bit of a strange feeling because like obviously like from my perspective I'm just doing it on my own, and it's funny enough like recording something without the female part, but then listening to someone and then like seeing their interpretation is really cool, but then like my part's kind of static, and it's kind of like it's a really interesting experience. I don't know, it's like I do find it like almost like quite a strange thing, but I'm happy that like hopefully it's helping people. And like my most popular video is Burn For You from Bridgerton, and I know a lot of people really enjoyed that. I think it's almost got like 40,000 views, which is crazy. But yeah guys, that's something I'd love to see more of. Like if you ever like want to post a video, post like a video of you singing with me, please go ahead, because I mean, from what I found on YouTube, it's just really fun putting like work out there, and just for me to see that like people are like interacting with my videos and stuff is really cool, because it can feel, I must admit, like as I wouldn't call myself a YouTuber yet anyway, I don't know if I ever will be like a full-on YouTuber, but it does feel quite isolating, like even recording this, like if I'm being honest, I feel quite anxious recording it, even this Q&A, like as I said, it's like, I think it's maybe just getting used to kind of like talking to a camera. I know lots of YouTubers talk about that when they're kind of starting out, but yeah, it's lovely to see people like engaging with content. I hate that word content, but engaging with the videos, singing along with them, joining in on live streams, which I've done a few times. It's really fun. So yeah, never be afraid to engage with the content and post yourself singing with me, because I'd love to see it. Guys, these questions are like really, really good. Thanks so much for asking them. Like I'm looking at this next one and they're all just very like varied. I know like some Q&As I watch, they're kind of like all similar questions, but these are really good. So thank you for putting time into thinking about them. So the next question comes from May Darubi, and she says, I have a question. Very excited there. What was the hardest song you covered on the channel so far? Okay. Ironically, I think it was maybe Burn For You, which, as I said, is like the video that really took off and kind of really started my channel going like with a bit more momentum. I don't know why that was so difficult. I think part of the reason was working out how I was going to sing it, because obviously Bridgerton, the musical, is quite like a new kind of thing, and like I obviously saw people's different interpretations, but I think I definitely interpreted it, that's quite hard to say, differently than other people, and it took a while to kind of think through. And then vocally, I'd say that's maybe one of the most difficult songs I've done on my channel, in terms of the range of the song, in terms of like the versatility of it. And yeah, looking through my channel, I'd say like another video that was probably the longest time I've put into a video, and then also quite vocally challenging, was the Other Side music video that I did. And I know I put some Sing With Me videos up as well, but I actually did like a full-on music video with like a green screen and all, and I played both characters in that, and that just took absolutely ages, and I'd love if you could go and check that out. It's not one of my most popular videos, but it'd be good to show that some love, because it took a lot of time, but it was so fun to film, and I'm really, really happy with the final product. Oh, and I just realized that Paj1492 also asked me what's your favorite musical, and I definitely answered that before, didn't I? Yeah, Lottie asked me that before, so sorry, Paj, but yeah, I'll put that up there just to give you a bit of a shout out. So guys, that's it for my first Q&A. That was really fun actually, and I definitely feel a bit more comfortable in front of the camera now in terms of talking. Thanks so much to everyone who asked a question, and everyone who watched, obviously. Just thank you to everyone. I feel like I'm accepting an award or something. Guys, I'd appreciate it so much if you could like this video, and you could also subscribe to my channel. I post musical theatre content, as I've said. I post different covers, sing with me's. I'm going to start putting out some original work in like musical theatre kind of compositions. Also probably more Q&As after this, because it was quite fun. Also feel free to leave a comment on this video if you enjoyed what you saw, and yeah, if you have any other comment to make or any questions to ask. You can also go over and follow me on Instagram. It is at AlexGemfrey. And I also want to mention that I offer vocal coaching. So this is for anyone that wants to get better at their singing. If you're a beginner, if you're intermediate, whatever, get in contact with me either by Instagram or by my email. All details below for everything I'm mentioning will be in the comments below and also in the description. But it's a really good way of just, even if you just want to like focus on a particular song, getting better at general technique, I can help you, so get in contact with me about that. So as I said, guys, all of the links I mentioned there are down below, and yeah, I'd really appreciate it if you check them out. So I really hope you enjoyed this Q&A, guys. I know I really enjoyed answering your questions, and I'd love to do another one of these soon. So all the best, guys, and I'll see you in the next video. See ya!